So I was all ready today to prepare for a reaction to the Ultimate Singles Tournament Finals. And yeah, forgot that today was actually the third place match first between Andreyko and Murrell. I should probably check that Facebook cover page a little bit more often. Sorry, Chris Clark, I stupid. So we get to wait a couple more days before Clark Wolf versus Ethan Irwin in the finals, and we get the third place match, Murrell versus Andreyko. The winner will play the runner-up in the tournament finals at the Schmoedown Spectacular 3 for the opportunity to potentially challenge for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Championship of the World, depending on who that may be. So, Murrell versus Andreyko. Let's find out who comes out on top today on JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
Out of time, so say goodbye. What is yours now is mine, and I dream broken dreams. I make them come true. I make them for you.
And welcome back. So before we get into the actual reaction, got a little bit of mail today from Collider Studios themselves, and more importantly from Brianne Chandler. Came right in the mail here. So a lot of people, if you're on the Facebook page or if you're a $50 Patreon supporter, you probably already know what this is because they revealed it on the Facebook page. I'll whip this out, and oh, gotta love it. It's a autographed version of his John Roca's picture when he became the new Movie Trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, with the horseman on it and his authentic signature. And I know that it's authentic signature because I had to whip out the old Schmoedown live poster that I got a month ago, and if you swept that right by that name right there, you can see that that is a very authentic signature right there. And I know that one is authentic because I saw him sign it. So yeah, for anybody out there that's wondering if they're actually real, they're real, trust me. So let's get into the actual match. Andreyko versus Murrell. This is a match that I've wanted to see for a good long while, and now with the magic of the Ultimate Schmoedown tournament, we're finally going to get it. Even though it's not technically a tournament match per se, it's kind of just an add-on match to the tournament. This match is now going to happen. For the longest time, I've always thought that Murrell would probably win this, even though Andreyko has been on kind of a roll lately, despite the little hiccup in his match with Clark Wolf. I think this can be a very even match. Obviously, it's going to depend on what the wheel brings us, as it usually would. If you had to put me on the spot right now, who I think is going to win, I'm probably going to lean towards Murrell. Simply because, no disrespect to Marc Andreyko, but I just think the Spectacular needs Dan Murrell in this event. I mean, we didn't get Murrell at Spectacular last year. Obviously, his return was a big deal when it happened. Had an unfortunate hiccup against Mr. Andrew Guy. So, yeah, I think it would be a big deal if he was to get back in the Schmoedown Spectacular card, and this is really the only way now that he can get there. So whether it could be potentially against Clark Wolf or Ethan Irwin, Dan Murrell on the card makes Spectacular a much bigger card. No disrespect to Andreyko, because I like Andreyko a lot. He just doesn't quite probably have the star power that a Dan Murrell would have. But I wouldn't mind either way. Andreyko is really freaking smart. Like Andreyko a lot. I'm a admin on his fan page, so it's probably the right thing to say. So yeah, win, lose, or draw. Again, there can be no draws, but I'm going to go with slight edge Murrell here. So yeah, I guess it's about time for me to stop talking and start reacting. I guess that's probably what I should have said. So yeah, let's do this in 3, 2, and 1.
So, as you can see,
Oh, it's Professor sighting.
led directly into Italian futurism, as pointed out in the work of Rudolf Arnheim, and is
Rudolph,
exposed in the film
Rudolph
Schmoedown
the
Christallus.
Red-Nosed
So I hope that this
Reindeer.
3-hour lecture has been
What are you
enlightening
talking
for
about?
you
It's Cody?
and edifying, and I hope that maybe once we work on the Schmoedown and make it more of an academic environment, that this will help you even compete in the future. Are there any remaining questions?
Yeah, I'm almost done here. Where's the rest of the beer? Also, this isn't fun.
Of course, it's a random wild berry sighting.
Books and learning and smarts. It's about, like, drinking and yelling. This is all wrong. And you won't let me leave. I want to leave.
Ron, will you not let him
The work
leave?
that we did from the German expressionists onward made any sort of impact on you at all?
Those movies don't have colors. I have to read the words.
Okay.
Like, where's the explosions and the swords?
Wait, you know what? After all of this time, we've gone through all of this material. You weren't even taking
Not one
notes.
ninja movie in the whole fucking list, man.
Listen, you've had plenty of time for your, samurai makeshift fighting ninja sprites. You've had more than enough time to study your kick-ass salamander cartoon. I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to point out some things that are worthwhile. And you know what? Where is your partner? Where is Mr.
Where
Makuga?
is Mr.
We've been
Makuga?
in a 3-hour
He's
session.
here,
I have
he's
not
here.
seen him anywhere. He's delinquent. He's truant at this
He's
point.
with us.
Playing some
at all
hooky, is he?
times. He's a wild berries. Hey, it's Josh Makuga. Josh for Jeopardy. I don't know how he got
Josh
out of this.
Makuga for Jeopardy.
I'm going
Yes.
to do another year abroad, I think.
Oh, and just a friendly random reminder to remind everybody that the O's stink. That service announcement was brought to you by JTH.
Chance Ellison, Ethan Irwin, Dan Murrell, Stacy Howard.
There were some winners there, and there were not some winners there.
The singles tournament begins. The winner of that entire tournament.
Hey, hello, Mark. Hello, champ. I just got your picture.
What a battle we're in for.
And here's to a good match.
Dangerous Dan Murrell, though, Mark, has been a staple of this league. Dan had a rough start. He lost the match at the Collider Collision to Andrew Guy. Then he had that close loss to corruption in the tournament.
Yes, even more.
I've seen this tournament before. I'm used to being the guy waiting for the person that's going to come out of the tournament. So this is a new experience for me, but the result's going to be the same. I'm going to be playing for that.
And your winner, by way of knockout, Dangerous Dan Murrell!
I mean, Ethan Irwin.
Tale of two
followed me
matches
to
there.
retirement. I was retired and people were trying to scare me with Ethan Irwin.
And your winner, by way of technical knockout, Ethan Big Time.
Turtle Power Ninja Rap is
And you're
back.
not out of this
Actually,
yet,
Ninja Rap is
because whoever
Vanilla Ice.
loses
That's a completely
between
different song.
Andreyko and Clark, you get to play.
The last time I sat at a table with Marc Andreyko, he was waving bye-bye to me and three of the other people that a lot of people say are,
Such a
are
trip
among the
down
best
memory
players.
lane.
Who's having a tremendous year. Singles and in general
Memory.
this year, and that's the android Marc Andreyko. Marc Andreyko this year is 3-1.
And your winner, Mark the Android Andreyko.
I win.
There's going to be two friends playing against each other in a fun, as affectionate as a competition can be. And if I win or she wins, it's a win for the Fife Club. It's a win.
What 2000
Just
comedy
the two of
featured
us.
cameos from real life pro
You
wrestlers,
and I.
Diamond Dallas Page, Bill Goldberg, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Booker T.
Ready to rumble.
Done in again by David Arquette. Dang, you David Arquette. And you won the WCW World title.
Now, Marc Andreyko,
Triple
on the
shame
other
on
hand, He has a date with Destiny with Dangerous Dan Murrell. They will now play, and the winner of that will be in the #1 contender match. So Dan Murrell and Andreyko.
As long as I don't lose by 100 points, I'm going to have fun.
What? 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 Who you got? I don't know, but we'll find out Actually, I think I already said who I got. So, rewind if you need to be reminded. Rewind for the remind. Shh. Got it on time. Although I need to do it like this. Shh. Florida State Seminoles. No!
Ultimate Schmoedown still going on here, and this is
I've
never done this before, but what had happened?
What a random appearance. What's going on here?
Ethan Irwin, they will be playing in the finals, but the two losers of the semifinals,
Kalinowski kidnapped Mark
Murrell,
Ellis.
will be playing against each other to figure out who will be in that #1 contender match at the Spectacular. Big things are happening. I'm Christian Harloff, and joined by a very special guest here, a guy that I think, I mean, man, you know, what a great
Very
competitor.
special
There's
guest.
so much. Look, it's not as. There's a lot going on in your personal life here with Thad Williams. Not as much power as you used to, I think. Is that true?
I don't know.
What are you saying here?
I'm just saying I don't think it's going as well as it used to be for you.
So that's from your point of view, right?
Well, I think a lot of people's point of view.
Different perspectives.
I saw you say something. Someone said no. You know, you're getting told no. I didn't see that before.
Hey, he stood up to himself. You can't argue against that.
So you like that?
I don't see anything wrong with it.
What I like is that you're focusing more about being a competitor now. I like that you have a big match coming up here. You have the Inner Geekdom Championship that before you were able to, you put yourself in the match. So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
You're playing arguably the Rookie of the Year, the amazing Marc Andreyko for the title.
A fantastic
Arguably,
player.
probably
the
not.
match?
Well, actually,
What are
there's.
my thoughts on the match?
Yeah.
That's why I asked. Thoughts
If
on the
Ethan's
match.
still
Mara deserves
potentially
the
challenging for the
championship.
title,
She is the
yeah,
champion.
it's
She absolutely 100%
not a done deal
deserves it.
yet,
She
but
won
I
the match
think
against me. So
since
when I go
it's
against her,
fan
I wanna
voting,
go
I
against
think
the
it's
best.
pretty
I've
much a
always said
done
from the beginning,
deal.
I want to go against
Beat
the
you
best.
fair and square.
Absolutely. She beat Inman fair and square.
Right.
She is arguably the best player. Not even arguably. I'd say she is the best player in her geekdom. So that makes it why I'm going for her, and we take the belt from her.
You're going to take the belt. Well, look, it's coming up. You got that. You put Ken in the Star Wars Championship, so corruption's riding high, but not right now.
Okay.
Because the story is not about you, my friend. The story today is about Marc Andreyko and Dan Murrell. One of these competitors, their seasons will continue. The others will end here today. It is going to be something special. Marc Andreyko and Murrell have never faced before. They have never played before. Dan Murrell's a former two-time champion. Marc Andreyko had a chance at the title against Bibiani, just fell short. He beat the finalist, Ethan Irwin, one of the finalists, Ethan Irwin,
Great
and
match.
he just lost to Clark Wolf. He has had a hell of a year, so this could go either way. Who do you got?
I have no idea who I have gotten this match. I mean, it is one of those ones where Murrell is what he is. He's a legend. He's a legend. But Andreyko is always that underdog that people either, underestimate or whatever, and he always comes through. And you ever see the calm
He
from
underestimates
both.
himself.
Absolutely. And you want to, how do you do that? And
Get
he goes
some
and pulls it out,
confidence,
and he's like,
Mark.
if you ever watch those two
Confidence
matches,
does
you gotta check the
wonders.
table if there's a pulse at the table sometimes with these guys because you don't know which way it's going to go, and they always are able to pull through. So I don't know who I have in this match.
Well, we're going to hear both the thoughts from Marc Andreyko, who's with Emma Fife, and Dan Murrell going solo on this one. Here we go.
I'm not going to lie. I wanted a shot at that belt at the Spectacular. I don't get it, but that's okay because I have one more chance to make sure that this is a season for me that I can be proud of, and that's winning this match here today. I might not get a shot at the belt right now, but I can assure myself a shot at the belt, and I don't matter. It doesn't matter to me as long as I can see that belt. As long as that belt's out there, that's what I want. So if I can't go that way, then I'm going to go this way.
So this is Andreyko's chance to get into the #1 contender match that is going to be played at the Schmoedown Spectacular. And honestly, it would be really interesting if Clark were to lose and Andreyko were to win and we were to immediately have a rematch. But one way or another, I have nothing but the greatest of faith in Marc Andreyko. He's proved time and time again that he is one of the strongest players in the entirety of the Schmoedown. He's the only person who's beaten Ethan Irwin, so that's not nothing.
I love the Android. Marc Andreyko has been coming on Screen Junkie stuff since before the Schmoedown. But if you think that I've forgotten watching him wave bye-bye to me at the free-for-all at my table, that was my table. He took my table away from me. And if you think I've forgotten that, you are sorely mistaken. I've never played him in singles before, but I've been wanting a shot at getting revenge for that, and I got that shot today.
Yes, I am the first person to beat Ethan, but after Clark beats him, I'll probably be playing him again if I beat Dan. So it's all it's all the snake eating its own tail, circles and circles and circles. So
Circle of life. In the
this has been a long season. I genuinely don't know which end is up. So
Not only do I see the belt in front of me, I see the Big Apple. I see a big crowd. I see a live event. I want that. I want to be on that stage, and I want to be playing for that belt. But right now, Marc Andreyko is between me and that shot. And as much as I might like the guy between me and that shot, or the girl between me and that shot, you're in my way. So it's time to get out of the way.
So Dan, we've never played one-on-one before. This will be a lot of fun. Hopefully it'll be close, and I'll apologize for beating you when we're done.
Andreyko, I love you. You're a friend of mine, but this is a movie trivia contest, so I'm going to throw a movie quote at you from one of the greats of all time, The Godfather. It's nothing personal. This is strictly business.
I didn't know Drew McWhinney said that line.
Respect.
Man, that's just too easy.
We've seen time in,
you knew JTH was going to pull that one out. That is just so low ball, low hanging fruit for
the number
me.
one contender match, and the winner of that match will go to New York to play whoever the champion is in January at the next live event.
No pressure.
It's a lot of pressure here too. Both these guys want the opportunity to go to New York and for the season to continue. So it's a lot on the line. It's absolutely, there's still a chance for these guys to get a shot at the gold, whether it's next season or not. But it is time for them to get going. I'm ready to go. Here's the tail of the tape. Marc Andreyko. The skills there are musicals. You've got Oscar movies, and you have
throwing Kalinowski out of power.
I missed that. What is that?
Thank you, Mark. Dun, dun, dun.
You can't read it?
What?
It says, throwing you out of power. He's part of the union, buddy.
I see. You're going to go back to the comedy stage, Josh. You're going to the Yaha Hut or the Circus Olympics over there?
Right back there. Dangerous Dan Murrell, whose skills are Spielberg movies.
Oh, why isn't his throwing Kalinowski out of power?
Trip to New York.
I mean, he had nothing to do with it.
He's getting a trip to New York.
He's getting ahead of himself, isn't he?
That's what he is. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, are you ready?
I'm ready. Now you're gonna ask me if I'm ready.
It's time for the
movie trivia Schmoedown. Kirsten and Mike do have some great chemistry with each other.
Introducing first, representing the Fife Club.
Friday the 13th was great. I thought Freddy Krueger was great in it. Oh no. I'm wrong. Again. Me and horror go like actually don't have a good comparison right off the bat. Oh, like Cleveland Browns and Super Bowls. That's a good analogy. Me and horror go together like Cleveland Browns and Super Bowls.
Spectacular year for them.
Yeah,
the Fife Club are in charge there.
They have been. And his opponent, representing the Five Horsemen, with a record of 8 wins, 4 defeats, and 5 knockouts.
That's a lot of knockouts. That's almost 6 knockouts.
Player of the Year and the former 2-time movie trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, Dangerous Dan Murrell. There's the Horseman.
There they are.
Oh, there's the Horseman. Where's the Horseman? There's the Horseman.
What's going on here?
And there he is, Dan Murrell.
I recognize that guy. He's right here. Same, looks like the same hat. It is the same hat.
Dan shaking the hand of both Emma and Mark as he hits the table here. Looks ready to go. Looks very calm and collected.
I love seeing sportsmanship on the table. Last time I faced against Riley, I went to go a handshake. I didn't get a handshake from the fella.
Is that true?
It was, yeah.
You think you really deserved it this year?
Well,
you're not a nice person. All right.
You think so?
No.
Okay.
All right. Round number 1, guys, is going to work like this. Both competitors are going to get 8 questions worth 1 point apiece. You get 15 seconds to answer. Make sure that you write the answer down. Make sure that you show it at the same time. Legibly. Make sure you
Roga, will you give me power of champion?
Camera. You have 15 seconds. You have a JTH
What do you mean?
rule. You have
F
a challenge
you.
rule. Remember all those. And if you have any other questions,
because I made fun of your Redskins one.
And with that, Dan Murrell, are you ready?
They deserve it.
That's right. All right. Marc Andreyko? Then let's get ready to Schmoedown!
Yay!
All right.
Gentlemen, here we go.
Question 1 in the realm of action-adventure, gentlemen. Who directed 2012's Skyfall?
Let the sky fall, let the sky fall.
5, 4, 3.
It is Sam Mendes.
1. Pens down. Dan?
Sam Mendes.
Correct. Andreyko?
Sam Mendes.
One of the very few director questions I would actually know.
Gentlemen, your second question is in the categories of Oscars. Who won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her role as a mother adjusting to her daughter's interracial relationship in 1967's Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Marc Andreyko?
Katharine Hepburn.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Dan?
Katharine Hepburn.
2-2.
That was the person I was thinking of because that was around that time, and could not pull her name.
Dramas is the next one. Which 90s romantic drama stars Clint Eastwood and Meryl Streep?
Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dan Murrell.
The Bridges of Madison County.
Yes, it is. Andreyko.
The Bridges of Madison County.
Tied.
There we go.
Okay.
Excellent work, gentlemen. All right. Question number 4, the category of comic book movies. What MCU villain goes by the name of Adrian Toomes?
It's a fart in the crowd.
Was that a... I don't know I didn't like that question, I guess.
A little bit of both. 5, 4, 3, 2,
gonna say the
1. Marc
Mandarin.
Andreyko.
The Vulture.
Yep. Dan.
Vulture.
There we go.
Oh.
So 4, 4.
Darn.
Got ourselves a match here.
Next one.
A little more
Fantasy
recent.
sci-fi.
I
Who
should
starred as Nolan Sorrento, who is the CEO of Innovative Online Industries in Ready Player One?
What were your thoughts on that movie?
I really liked that movie.
Did
a
you?
lot. I did.
Oh.
I did. I'm one of the few. 5,
I'd say so.
4, 3,
I don't know.
2, 1. Pens down, and Dan Murrell.
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yes, sir. Marc Andreyko.
I got the Ben part.
Oh, all right. So Murrell takes his first lead here. 5-4.
All
You
right.
have a lisp.
He does.
He does.
Your question number 6, gentlemen, is the category of animated. Who voiced Coraline in 2009's Coraline?
Oh.
I've not seen that one. Animated is not a category. I don't have kids.
Okay, you just revealed that to all your competitors.
Like, if
5,
they don't know that by now, they haven't studied.
4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
I can do that for you. And again, the question is, who voiced Coraline in 2009's Coraline? Coraline?
Coraline. Sure. 5, 4, 3,
I don't know.
2, 1. Pens down, and Marc Andreyko.
Nope.
Dan.
Dakota Fanning.
That's correct.
I got it.
Oh,
Dan got
no.
it. Ooh. All right. Next question. Horror
I
slash
missed an anime
thriller.
question. I'm
Which
ashamed
child
of that.
actor stars alongside a villainous Macaulay Culkin in 1993's The Good Son?
I enjoyed that movie.
I did. Creepy movie. Creepy ending. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dan Murrell.
Elijah Wood.
Yes, sir. Marc Andreyko.
Elijah
Yes,
Wood.
5. So
Did not know
Dan's
that.
not missed yet, has he?
I was thinking of
he's got
Oh, it's the last question.
he has a
Joseph
chance
Gordon-Levitt.
He has a chance here to have a perfect round if he hits this. If
All
not,
right.
then we're just going to move on it.
Gentlemen, 8th question in the category of comedies. What is the name of Napoleon's uncle in Napoleon Dynamite?
I just don't like Napoleon.
Writing
Dynamite
fast and
much.
furious there.
5, 4, 3, 2.
We'll see.
Repeat the question.
I can do that for you, sir. That is one for Dan. What's the name of Napoleon's uncle in Napoleon Dynamite?
I don't know. I'm
5,
just going to guess a name.
4, 3, 2.
Let's say
1.
Dwayne
Marc
Dynamite.
Andreyko.
No effing clue.
Dan.
Rico.
Rico's correct.
Oh, Rico.
Dan Murrell has hit a perfect round using the JTE rule to his advantage
Works
there.
to his
Nice
advantage.
job, Dan.
I've been in that situation.
I
All
got
right, so
one.
then Mark,
The
excuse me,
first
Dan
one.
Dan Murrell has a chance to hit
My
this.
round
If
was
he
looking
does,
so
it'll be
good,
9
and then
9
we
points
kept
to
playing.
5. Here's your bonus. You do not have to write it down. It's just for you. Dan, who wrote and directed the 1981 sci-fi horror film Scanners?
David Cronenberg.
1 point.
Correct.
Dan Murrell on fire here. 9-5. 9-5. Perfect round.
Joins the illustrious club.
Yeah, this is the second time he's done
Absolutely.
it. He just did it recently against Stacey Howard, and now he does it here against Marc Andreyko. And now we get to round number 2. Round number 2, The
So he's
competitors
off.
will spin
Dan's off
the
to a
wheel.
pretty
If it
good
lands on a
start.
category they do not like.
He
they
did
can
pretty
spin it,
good.
unless, of course, it lands on
Brad
opponent's choice.
Gilmore.
Then they have to take whatever their opponent gives to them. 4 questions worth 2 points apiece, unless, of course, you go to multiple choice. Then it's 1 point. You can steal from your opponent. Both competitors have used 1 JTE rule thus far. Marc Andreyko has 2 left. Dan has 2 left. And Dan has a 4-point lead. So, Dan, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second.
You're going to go second. All right, Marc Andreyko, please spin from the wheel, not the peg. Here we go. And there's the spin.
He is dangerous with this wheel.
He is.
Guess when we're done with the Patreon wedges, which I can understand.
Marc Andreyko is that what he knows well.
Unless the last one's going to be for the tournament finals.
Real quick. And we're going around.
Uh-oh.
New releases? Okay. New releases.
I think that wedge was there for the last match. They didn't even move it.
Myself included.
So I also believe it's a strength of Dan Murrell.
When Chance and I, we pulled away from that.
Which is interesting, because, I mean, the amount of movies
Well, you got to see what's in new releases in the past couple months.
You're playing against Dan Murrell, you want to spin away from new releases.
Absolutely.
Makes sense. And it's coming back around here, too, going away from
All right, there it goes.
Disney films. Disney films.
All right.
All right. So you got to stay with
I might actually know something about this.
All right.
Dan Murrell.
Here we go. Disney films. Mark, you have
Love
4
the
questions
confidence.
here. The Court of Miracles is the name of a secret hideout in what Disney animated film?
Alice in Wonderland?
It's incorrect. Dan for the steal. Five, 4, 3, 2.
Mulan.
Looking for the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh.
Yes.
Hunchback of Notre
If
Dame.
you take the Universal Studios tour, they talk about that.
All right, Mark. The Unbirthday song. The Unbirthday song can be found in what Disney film?
The Unbirthday song? Alice in Wonderland?
Correct.
There you go.
All right.
2 points. Well done, Mark.
All right. Other than Mowgli, what do many of the characters in 1967's Disney's Jungle Book refer to him
Man
as?
cub.
Cub?
It's incorrect.
Man cub.
Man-child is what we're looking for. Man-child. Man-child.
No points on that question.
Yeah.
Could I?
You want to challenge? You can challenge.
Yeah, it's
You can
man
challenge that,
cub.
absolutely.
It's not man-child.
Sure
All right.
I want to be like you. He calls him man cub.
Okay, let me challenge.
I'm pretty. It's
You challenge.
the man cub. I think Dan's gonna.
All right, we're coming back from the challenge. Dan Murrell challenged the questions. I
he's gonna get that.
We said man-child, and he said it was man-cub. Dan Murrell's correct. It is man-cub. So with that steal, it is now 11
to 7.
11 to 7. 11 to 7. So he did get the steal there. All right. So let's get to the next question here. Is that question number 4? Over what activity does Mr. Banks finally bond with his children in Mary Poppins?
Flying a kite?
Correct. There you go. All right. So Marc Andreyko
Needed that one. That was a big 2 points there.
Dan Murrell has a 2
Really
point
need to
lead
get
here,
that.
and now it's Dan's turn to spin. He needs a strong wheel spin. If he gets a strong wheel spin, then he's going to be in really good shape. However, if he lands on something that Mark's strong on, Mark can come right back into this game. Here's the spin.
This could go anyway at this point. It's still up in the air here.
It's up in the air.
This wheel round.
Guess there's going to be no Meryl Streep chant. We've already used the Meryl Streep chant.
Well.
Absolutely.
Attention here. Hoping for strength zone. Oh, and there it is. Comedy.
Comedy.
Broad category.
Very niche.
I have to
but I
choose
think
in 5,
Dan
4.
could do all right
3.
in that.
Ooh,
He's gonna
chance again. Likes to live dangerously.
spin
That is
again.
dangerous
I-
Dan Murrell.
I don't mind that.
There he is, living up to his name.
Broad genre.
Dan Murrell
Try to
spinning.
get something else.
So now Dan is spinning it, and this is his second spinning choice. He's getting around. Uh-oh. Here comes back around. It's coming.
Oh,
Look at this.
Oh, look at this.
Uh-oh. Look at this.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was a mistake.
And that is what
He spun away
happens
from
at
it.
times.
He spun away from it.
Now what does Mark give him?
We're going to start, maybe end the season the way we began.
That's true.
Here we go.
He spun away from it and hit opponent's
So Mark
choice.
is in an interesting choice right now. He's in a tough spot.
He's looking at what he can.
Look at him.
What he can put Dan away with.
I'll do Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So Tim Burton for Dan Murrell.
Mark knows his Tim Burton. I
All
found
right,
that out.
Tim Burton. Dan, you got 4 questions in Tim Burton.
Okay, no. This is appropriate because Emma came dressed as Beetlejuice.
That's true. That's true. All right, here we go. In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie's father works for what company?
Multiple choice.
A. Slugworth. B. Smithfield. C. Salts Nuts. D. Smilex.
Slugworth?
It's incorrect. Choices are Slugworth, Smithfield, Salts Nuts, or Smilex.
B.
Looking for Smilex.
Smilex, the Joker's gas?
Really?
Smilex was D.
Really?
Wow.
That's what they said.
Burton TBCU.
All right.
Really?
Soups Nuts? What was that? Salts Nuts?
You want to challenge it?
Smilex?
You want to challenge it?
That seems... I don't have anything to lose, so what the fuck?
You going to challenge it? All right,
Okay.
so challenge on that. Challenge on that.
I wouldn't have known it regardless, so I wouldn't have known what the challenge or not.
All right, coming back. The answer was indeed Smilex. The answer was indeed Smilex.
Toothpaste.
Toothpaste factory, you will find it labeled Smilex.
That's an Easter egg I didn't know then.
Yeah.
Batman
There
fan.
you go. All right, so
We
go
all
back.
learned something today.
All right, so we go back to...
Way to be humble, Tim.
All right, here we go. Question number two. Question number two. Tim Burton received his first Academy Award nomination for which 2005 animated film?
Frankenweenie.
5, 4.
Corpse Bride.
That's correct
Oh.
for 2 points.
Saw the wheels turning for that one
Yeah.
for him.
All right, here we go. All right, next question. Which 1985 film was Tim Burton's directorial debut? 5, 4,
Big Fish.
3, 2.
Multiple choice.
A, My Science Project. B, Beetlejuice. C, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. D, Lost in America.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
1 point. All right.
Frankenweenie. I didn't know where Frankenweenie.
Last question here, Dan. Last question. Name the actress that played the character of Alma Peregrine in 2016's Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. 5, 4.
Multiple choice.
A, Eva Green. B, Allison Janney. C, Olga Kurylenko. Or D, Helena Bonham Carter.
That's what I thought. Eva Green.
For 1 point.
Ava Green.
All right, so
Played
Dan
that match
Murrell.
smart.
She seems to be like the new actress that's in all the Tim Burton
So now he's got a
movies.
6-point lead as he
She
gets
was in
into
Dark
round
Shadows,
number 3.
that.
Round number 3, we've seen 6-point leads
Absolutely.
before.
I guess that's
and
it.
Not hold strong. So let's see. So
Get another one,
Murrell
and then you're the
has
new
1 JT left,
Helena
and
Bob
Draco has
Carter.
1 JTE left. As we get into round number 3, the competitors will have 3 numbers from 1 to 20. And the first one will be worth 2 points. Second one worth 3. The third one worth 5 points.
That was rough for
All
both
right,
players.
So again, guys, both
He's
you guys have 2
struggling.
JTE rules left.
You don't even have to pick numbers.
Dan has one of his challenges left, and Draco does not have any more challenges left. And we will now take the numbers from Dan Murrell.
That's
take
tough.
8, 6,
6-point lead. That means he's going to have to run
6,
through all of
and
them.
14 for Dan and Andreyko.
I'll take 7, 5, and 13.
7, 5, and 13. So Andreyko's trying to avoid the TKO here. So we start with number 7 for Andreyko. All right, it's number 7.
In the Sandlot.
In the movie Ready to Rumble. No, I'm just kidding.
Get out of here, Jesus.
Boo! That's like clickbait. That was not funny.
The batteries were the arms in Tony Stark's Iron Man.
Yeah, all right. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Crime. Crime movies is number 7, Mark.
Well, this is going to be a murder, so bring it on.
All right. What is the full name, first and last, the federal agent that Kevin Costner plays?
Elliot Ness.
There you go. 2 points.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, now you're waiting for the full question there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, Andreyko. So your 5-pointer. Sorry. Your 5
3-pointer. Here's 3-pointer.
Your 3-pointer.
2, 3, 5.
Is number 5. Thank you. Your 3-pointer. Your 3-pointer is number 5. 3-pointer is number 5. War movies.
Ugh.
War movies. All right. Name 2 of the actors who make up the Monuments Men besides George Clooney.
Matt Damon and Jean Dujardin.
Correct.
There we go.
All right. So fighting back here. So if
That's
he
how it
hits his
happens.
5, it bounces back to Dan. If he misses it, Dan will be in the number 1 contender match waiting for the loser of either Clark Wolf or Ethan Irwin.
And
All
I
right.
will be done for the season.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Number 13. Number 13, Marc Andreyko.
Sports movies.
Oscar movies. Oscar movies.
Ooh.
All right. Mark, what is the only Studio Ghibli film to win the Oscar for Best Animated Feature?
Spirited Away.
Princess Mononoke.
And your winner, by way of technical knockout, Dangerous Dan Murrell.
Spirited Away was the answer. Dan Murrell picks up his
I believe that was the
6th
second
knockout of all time. I believe that's a record.
best animated winner, because Shrek was obviously the first, and then Spirited Away was.
In the #1 contender match with a chance to make it to New York.
Yay! I knew a 5-pointer. Hooray! Yay me!
Marc Andreyko. Look, when Dan Murrell plays like that, it's hard to beat.
He's back in his form that he was.
Well, he did that against Stacy. He had a rough match against, well, not too much.
I remember seeing Spirited Away a little bit more often because there's a new animated movie that dude apparently is doing.
He's been playing,
and I've been to the theater quite a lot over the last couple of weeks, and I've seen that promotional stuff for that. So I remember that being one of those style movies.
You see, he wants to go to multiple choice, but he knows it, and he
well, he strategized.
Right, yeah.
But he strategized very well in that one because he knew he didn't give a chance to get a steal, and he knew he had a large enough lead that he waited, he took the multiple choice, and he built himself up a 6-point lead. It was good math, to be honest with you, because he gave himself six points to go into it. That's a tough deficit to come back, and Draco almost did it, but it was Spirited Away at the end that got him.
Going into that third round, and you've got to hit all 3 of your questions. That is a tough place to be in. Just mentally, it is hard.
All right, so now we are going to talk to Breanne Chandler, your buddy, who is.
She's back now.
Yeah, well, she's.
She retires. She doesn't. She pops up.
It was a break.
Okay.
All right. So
we were
now
taking a
we are
break.
Going to Breanne Chandler, who's with both Marc Andreyko.
Oh, thank you again, Breanne.
What's up, Movie Trivia Schmoedown fans? I'm here with the second place finisher, Marc Andreyko. Mark, I noticed on your board to start off it said, "I'm tired." I want to know about this.
So tired. You know, this isn't heavy. This isn't, you know, paving roads or digging ditches, so it's not physical labor, but it's exhausting. And, you know, and playing these last 3 matches with Drew and Clark and now Dan, they're all good friends of mine, and it's just, you know, so you're kind of, you want to win, but you also don't mind losing because they're friends of yours and they're good at what they do. So I'm exhausted. I don't know how people that played this more than I did this year are still standing. It's just mentally, you know, I knew Dakota Fanning, I knew Ben Mendelsohn, I saw them there, but I got like brain dyslexia, just reading letters. So.
Your mental gymnastics was just off for the day.
I tore my ACL in my mental gymnastics.
What about you?
Yeah, I think
are you exhausted
too.
as a manager?
I mean, you know, the thing about this singles tournament that has been both exciting while simultaneously being extremely tiring is the fact that there wasn't anybody in this singles tournament this time around that you went, oh, okay, like they're good. No, every single person in the singles tournament this year has been just some of the most excellent competitors that we have in the Schmoedown. So you go into every single match with a lot of anxiety. And, you know, I think that as far as the single tournament goes, I am very grateful that Andreyko, it was just anxiety of facing really great competitors, not really great competitors where there was also a grudge involved, if you will. But at the end of the day, he faced a lot of really awesome people. He took down a lot of really great people. And ultimately, you know, Dan Murrell's a great competitor and he's a great person. So this is not an embarrassing loss by any stretch of the imagination. And Marc Andreyko's had a hell of a season.
You have had a hell of a season. What's been a favorite match of yours this year?
I think the match that I played with Snyder against Alonso and Adichie, because that was the game that felt the most procedural and you know, playing with technique. I was shocked. I beat Drew. That was sort of miraculous. It was fun. I mean, ultimately, that's what this is. I'm doing this for fun. You know, nobody likes to lose. Everybody wants to win. But it's a bunch of good people getting together and just being nerds about movie trivia. So if we were playing for like $100,000, I'd challenge
Cutthroat competition.
Yeah. But this is a community, and primarily it's about having fun and celebrating our mutual love of movies. So yeah.
It is about having.
I made it into the double digits against Dan, so that's a win in my book.
All right, double digits are nothing to hang your hat about. I want to know, you will be seeing you in Spectacular in some capacity, so tell me about Wolf versus Ethan. How do you feel about that matchup coming up?
Well, Ethan is like a time bomb. You don't know when the timer is going to go off. And I beat him just by that 1 5-point question, and I think that will be the only time I ever beat him if I play him, because he is like a great white shark. I'm mixing so many metaphors here. He's an exploding great white shark. But Clark is great too. Clark has that steely reserve when she plays. Even though we're on the same team and we were playing each other, she's kind of scary. So
look out for her in that speed round. She is in it.
And I think that match is going to be one of the closest. I think that's going to come down to the wire because they're both really good players. They're both different types of players entirely, so it'll be a fun match to watch at the very least.
Yeah, I think that Clark is technically one of the absolute best players that we have in the Schmoedown. And as you say, she is a mastermind at the speed round. And on top of that, Ethan's never played a 5-round match before. So that could potentially work to Clark's advantage as well. Though, as Andreyko said, there's no doubting the prominence of Ethan's movie knowledge. It is vast.
And I'm just glad that if Clark loses, I don't have to play Clark again.
There you go. Don't have to play her again, but we'll be drinking at Spectacular, so we'll see you there. And I am back with your first place finisher, Dan Murrell. Dangerous Dan Murrell. I'm sorry, I didn't use the formal. Perfect first round today with the extra point as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been such a weird season for me. I've played in between singles and teams. I played in 6 matches. On the one hand, I've got 3 TKOs or KOs, and on the other hand, I have an overtime loss, and then I was TKO'd twice.
Wait, 6 TKOs, 6 KOs?
Well, this season, I either seem to win going away or I lose going away.
Okay.
So it's been such a weird season, and I don't know how the game's going to go. So, Andreyko was right up there in the belt conversation this last cycle. So for me to have that kind of performance against Mark, I count myself incredibly lucky. I love playing him. I've always wanted to play him. I'd play him again anytime. He's a great competitor.
He is a great competitor. I also like that you seem to have your energy back after that Stacy match. It's kind of continuing. Then you got opponent's choice.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's the year of opponent's choice for Dan Murrell.
It is. Strategy is kind of not working out great for me this year because that was every time I take a calculated risk this year, it has not worked out for me, which to me says I need to stop taking them. But yeah, it's opponent's choice in a weird way. It was sort of the mirror of what happened to me in my first match this year. I hit a category. I was kind of iffy on it. I spun again. I hit opponent's choice on the second spin. It happened to work out much better for me this time than it did when I played Guy in my first match. And again, I'm lucky that that was the case because it could have been much worse and Mark could be standing here instead of me. I mean, I guess he was, but it would be different circumstances.
He would be the second interview instead of the first. I see where you're going with that. So now we have Ethan and Clark going up against each other. Yeah. What's your thought on this match?
I mean, obviously, I know how dangerous, no pun intended, Ethan is. He TKO'd me. I didn't even get a chance. He didn't even have to answer any questions in round 3 when he played me. So I know what he's capable of. At the same time, he's going up against a champion who has played and been in that situation before. Not that I think Ethan's going to get caught in the lights, but I think it does help to have somebody who's played in a championship match before, who's dealt with that kind of pressure. Clark has done that. She's proven herself one of the great players in the game, and I think that she, along with Rachel, are both in this league maybe the 2 players that devote the most amount of time, not just to staying good, but to getting better. So that's going to be a great match, I think, and I don't look forward to playing either one of them.
Yeah, which one would you prefer, though?
I mean, considering that Ethan TKO'd me, I guess it'd be Clark just because,
you've played Clark before.
I played, but that was years ago.
But it happened.
It happened. But yeah, I mean, I guess if I had to choose, I would pick the person that didn't just send me out of the tournament.
Okay.
Maybe I would have a better chance against someone else, but not because I think that Clark is a better draw than Ethan, because they're both great players.
Because that matchup, whoever you play at Spectacular, whoever wins that matchup is going to be going to New York to play in a title match.
Yeah, I love New York.
Okay.
That's kind of like a dream for me. New York is one of my favorite places in the world.
Mhm.
To get the chance to go there and do that and play for the title in New York in front of a
That would be
live
crazy.
crowd, like that is awesome. And so that is going to be a huge motivating factor for me because it's not just winning the title, it's getting the opportunity to do it in that scenario. That sounds amazing, and I have my work cut out for me, and I'm going to start prepping now because I want to do everything in my power to make sure that I put myself in the best position to win that game.
Wow. I also want you to wear an I Love NY shirt under your plaid next time we see
do that.
you.
I'll do
All
that.
right. We'll see you then.
Look, Marc Andreyko, happy to be his season is done.
He's like, I gotta go on my cruise now. I can relax.
He's happy that his season is done. He's been saying he's been playing a lot. He is playing a lot lately, and I think that I got to be honest. I think that the Clark Wolf match also took a lot out of him. This one, he played against Dan Murrell here too. Dan played so well, and I think Marc Andreyko at this point is going to take a rest. Whether he comes back with Snyder or not, we'll see in next season. But Dan Murrell, focusing in on that championship. He wants to play for the title. Now, of course, he wants Rocha to win, but it depends. Right. Who's Rocha going to play? Is it going to be Ethan? Is it going to be Clark? We're going to find out because whoever that is, Dan Murrell will be playing that person for the #1 contender spot at the Spectacular.
And we could potentially have Rocha Murrell.
If in New York,
that could potentially be what happens.
It's possible. It's possible, but there's a lot that can happen.
He's got a long road ahead of him.
Yeah, a long way to go, and a short time to get there.
Right around the corner here, guys. And a lot of
I guess
these Star Wars
we're
matches.
bound somewhere. Watch old Bandit run.
The team
I
championship.
guess if you're going to L.A., it's westbound. If you're going to New York, what they're talking about, it's eastbound.
Thank you guys for watching. If you're not a Patreon,
Which for me would be
please take a
northbound.
look. Join today. The patreon.com/Schmoedown.
Northbound down. It's just getting colder. No, it's putting me in the face right now.
Go to Schmoedownlive.com. Check it out. Schmoedownlive.com. The singles championship will be on the line with the.
Check out Schmoedownlive.com and see that all the tickets were sold out weeks ago.
I'm Christian Harloff. See you next time.
Uh-oh. Who's that knocking on my front door again?
What is... Hello? Hi there! Bibbs, what the heck are you doing?
I'm building.
Building what?
Well, Thad, that's a great question, and I'm glad you asked. As you may recall, after I narrowly lost to Rocha, I generously offered my services to any Schmoedown competitor who needed help with their entrances. And you know how many people got back to me?
How many?
-3. So I have decided to build myself an office right here in the corner of the Schmoedown.
Bibbs, I don't know if you can really put an office here.
I can really put an office here. Thank you, Thad. That's really, really great. So yeah, I'm just going to get nice and cozy up in here. This is a load-bearing sheet, so that should be fine. That should be up to code. Yeah, you send anyone who wants to come on by, and I'll help them consult with their entrances.
Their entrance woes.
Great. Cool. Great. Thanks, Dad. Earl? I've been working on the Schmoedown. Wait a minute. What am I doing? I need eye protection. I've been working on the Schmoedown.
Gotta remember that eye protection. Way to go, Bibbs.
What's up, Schmoedown fans? Frank here, and it is time for your Schmoedown breakdown. It's a battle for third place and a spot in the #1 contenders match at
It's like the World Cup, only no flopping or any kind of run-ins.
Players going 4 for 4. Murrell pulled away in the latter part of the round and went a perfect 8 for 8. This is the third time Murrell has answered all 8, and not only that, but he got the bonus question correct for the second time in his career as well. As for Andreyko, he held on with 5 points of his own. With a 4-point lead, Murrell defers to Andreyko, and he ends up on Disney. Andreyko would go 2 for 4 for 4 points, and he even gave up a 2-point steal to Murrell. Murrell was in a good spot going into his turn. Unfortunately, he would land on opponent's choice and was dealt a category of Tim Burton. Despite a shaky start, Murrell would go 3 of 4 for 4 points, and would carry a 6-point lead into the final round. In the entire history of the singles league, there has only been one comeback win in a 3-round match that overcame a 6-point deficit to win.
And your winner, ladies and gentlemen, the Olympian!
That was the only one? I thought Makuga did it against Dagnino. Unless it was a 5-point. Ah, Ken in the ponytail. Memory.
Andreyko would come close to sending it back to Murrell after hitting his 2- and 3-point questions, but in the end he couldn't hit his 5-pointer, and Murrell wins via TKO 15-14 and claims his spot.
I guess I'll have to go back and watch that Makuga
at Spectacular. Going inside
Dagnino
the
match to find out what the
Marc
deficit
Andreyko
was.
9 of 16 for an accuracy rate of 56%. His season will end with a 4-3 record, 6-5 lifetime. This season he had an accuracy rate of 69%. That's 6% better
Very respectable.
than last year. This
That will
season,
win you
his
quite a
first
bit of
round
matches
average
this
was
year,
5.4
which it
points,
did.
and in the second round 5.7 points. While
Especially that
answering
second round. That second
82%
round
of those
percentage is
questions. He was also 4
most
for 9
impressive.
in steal situations. Looking at Dan Murrell's day, he went 13 of 15 for an accuracy rate of 87%. This was also Murrell's second knockout of the season, and he now has 6 total for his career. That's a record for a singles competitor. This season, Murrell has an accuracy rate of 77%. In first round play this season, he is averaging 6.8 points, and in the second round, he's averaging 4.3
Their first and second
points
rounds are pretty
while
much
answering
flip-flopped.
69% of those questions. He is also 4 for 5 in steals this season. If you want to find out other stats about this match and from around the league, check out SD Rundown Stats on Twitter. And don't forget to check out the Schmoedown Rundown every Saturday on the Collider Podcast Network on YouTube and the Collider Factory podcast feed. This has been your Schmoedown Breakdown.
Thank you, Frankie Stats Janish. So the match wasn't as close as I thought it was going to be. Murrell takes it by TKO. Would have been interesting to see how Dan would have responded if he had to answer some questions in round 2. But just an unfortunate spin of the wheel from both players. One was not able to take as much of advantage of it as the other. Disney movies. It's kind of surprising to me that there's a good number of players in the league that just they ain't watched the kiddie films. It's just a shame because we've all grown up on Disney. So it always kind of saddens me to see that Disney and Pixar and those kind of categories do people in. But beggars can't be choosers. A lot of people have a lot of strengths, and just so happens Disney just doesn't seem to be one of them. So it's a shame, but it's not like I'm good at any other category, which is why I'm here and nowhere near LA competing in a Schmoedown. So Dan Murrell, he advances to the Spectacular. He will await the runner-up of the Ultimate Schmoedown tournament, whether it be Clark or Ethan. We'll find out on Friday when those two do battle in a 5-round extravaganza. So with that being said, that's going to do it for JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Like, comment, share, subscribe to their content and to mine as well if you so choose. Follow me on Twitter at WWEJTH1 and follow all the important Schmoedown curriculum is what I meant to say. The Facebook page, the Twitter page at the Schmoedown, the new Movie Trivia Schmoedown website, triviasd.com, and of course, if you can, become a Patreon supporter where you can get great content like this, an autographed version or an autographed photo of John Roca. Yay, yay outlaw, yay champ. Again, I want to thank Brianne for bringing that out. Of course, you've already, thanked me for the contribution, so you don't have to thank me again. You can just say that the O's stink, just like everyone else can. That would be great. So yeah, that's gonna do it for JTH Reacts to the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. I will see you on Friday. Until next time, I bid you adieu.